Oh, okay.
Okay? He'd been in the service, I hadn't. It's the only job I could get. I was draft day. Steady stream of cars. Yeah. That's cool.
Good afternoon, everybody. Congressman Hurt, Mrs. Lillian Cruz, representing Congressman Chris Van Hollen from Maryland, dear American veterans, dear American friends, and last but not least, dear students of the French International School, the Lycée Rochambeau, whom I'm so happy and deeply proud to welcome today, with their principal, cher Eric Veto, and their director, cher Patricia Reynaud. So happy and deeply proud, simply because we all have what we call in French a devoir de mémoire, a duty of memory. Also, I believe it is important that the young generation must learn and be able to testify to the lessons of history and how friendship among people and quest for freedom can lead to what sometimes must be called by its name, heroism. This is actually a great honor and a real pleasure for me to welcome you all here today at the Maison Française, a place dedicated to French-American friendship. La Légion d'honneur, the Légion d'honneur, is the highest French decoration, and it's been conferred to you to recognize in the name of the French government and in the presence today of your family and of your friends, all the personal sacrifices you made for the liberation of France and Europe. We, the French, know that in the darkest hours of our history, you, the American people, were there by our side. We, the French, know that the liberation of France and Europe began when the Allied armies landed on the beaches of Normandy, where the Americans, Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders advanced against heavy enemy barrage and climbed those deadly cliffs. You climbed them. And I would like to emphasize today that we know and will always remember what the price was. The price, 60,000 soldiers were laid to rest on French soil. And the American and Allied symmetry in Normandy will always remind us of those terrible days when grief from the death and destruction went hand in hand with our newfound liberty. With World War II over, it was with the political and economic support of the United States of America under the Marshall Plan that the European nations were able to heal their wounds, rebuild their economies, and turn the ruins of war into the prosperity of peace. And during the Cold War, your country guaranteed West European security while consistently supporting the gradual integration and unification of the continent as the best way to maintain peace and stability. Ever since the USA appeared on the world scene, our two people have always been friends. All through this friendship, we will never forget that without you, the Americans, we would have been unable to maintain our freedom. Let me quote President Sarkozy in his speech at the American Embassy in Paris. It was at the occasion of the 10th anniversary of 9/11, a few months ago. Twice, America has been called on to sacrifice her sons in order for France to remain a free nation. We have no right to forget it, and we will never forget it, as the links between our nations are inextricable. When your sons came to die in our land, which was foreign to them, they came to die for an ideal which was common to both sides of the Atlantic. This is the basis, this is the cornerstone of the relationship between the US and France. This is why you are so dear to us and why we feel so close to you. And each time an American soldier falls, wherever in the world it may be, France feels solidarity with the United States, as that young soldiers resembles those who fought for us on two separate occasions and sacrificed their lives in doing so. Dear American veterans, whichever branch of service you were in, the Air Force, Navy, infantry, intelligence, the achievements of your military career, your personal contribution to the liberation of France are examples of what an individual can do as a soldier with the highest values of courage, sense of duty, and sacrifice for the strong and enduring relationship between America and France. All of you participated in the most crucial and difficult battles of the European theater of operation during the campaigns of Normandy, northern France, Ardennes, Central Europe, Rhineland, and southern France. You fought from north to south, east, from west to east, on D-Day, were young men, private first-class soldiers, surgeons, corporals, lieutenants, or colonels, but all of you were there with gallantry and determination to help free us from the tyranny of foreign occupation. The Battle of France history is at first a young man history, taken each in his uniqueness. Let me quote a few examples of this. Mr. Thompson, in the Brittany Peninsula, you met an 18-year-old French boy who asked you if he could fight with the Americans. Assigned to your squad as the interpreter, Henri Amis, it was his name, continued with your unit to the Ardennes. As Christmas approached, Henri asked if he could go home for the holidays. I think it was the last time you saw him, but you did communicate for several years. That's a nice story. Mr. Joseph Hagg, I know your story. You were a beach master in Omaha Beach. And you have a very funny definition of your duty. It's much like a traffic cop at a very busy intersection. All sorts of activities were taking place all around you, and it was your responsibility to establish and maintain order. Mr. Tom Morrison, you were the jump master for a group of 6 paratroop veterans who jumped on the 60th anniversary of D-Day during the celebrations near Sainte-Mère-l'Église in Normandy. It was on June 7th, 2004. You were all 80 years young, and I have the picture here to prove it. For your actions while on duty, your government conferred to you the most prestigious decorations. Today, it is the turn of my country, France, to officially recognize all of you for your distinguished military service, which led to the liberation of our country and Europe. Mr. Raymond Branham, Mr. Ernest Flynn, Mr. Albert John Domenico, Mr. Richard Giuliani, Mr. Edward Gottschalk, Mr. Vincent Hagg, Mr. William Iwanicki, Mr. Maurice Kay, Mr. James Kaleshin, Mr. Albert Kupperstock, Mr. Stanley Lorek, Mr. Frederick Margulies, Mr. Frank Mezzaras, Mr. Edwin Morgenstern, Mr. Thomas Morrison, Mr. Jim Nadig, Mr. Carl Crawford, Mr. William Sneed, Mr. Morris Snyder, Mr. Floyd Stewart, Mr. Robert Thompson, Mr. Howard Trower, Mr. Joseph Faggy, Mr. Robert Wilson, Mrs. Erika Sumner. You represent here your father, Charles Klotz, who passed away a few weeks ago. But as his family wanted to be here today, on his behalf, thank you for being here with us today. Please accept our sincerest condolences. And now, with the help of Colonel Brice Hodet of the French Army, I will now proceed with the solemn high point of the ceremony. In the presence of each one of you, we will now pronounce the official statement, which, in the name of the President of France, will induct you into the Order of the Légion d'honneur. Please, for those who can stand up, let's stand up, please. now have together a glass of champagne.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take care of that. Yeah, of course. Richard? Yeah, I'll do that. Right here so we get a good outlook. Okay.
Got it. Can you take a picture? Okay, go ahead. Okay. All you have to do is,
He took off. He's heading for Florida.
You what?
He's heading for Florida.
Is he?
Yeah.
Take off.
And he